Planet Earth. Such an amazing place. If you live here, you know there's no better place to be in the entire Milky Way. While as a whole, Earth is doing pretty well, it's clear there are some countries that are struggling, and there are some countries that are doing pretty well right now. These are the countries where it's not as dangerous, countries where people have an overall better quality of life, and where people are just happier and are little goody two-shoes. Today, we're going to talk about these role model countries in the world. You know, the nations where people are doing lots of stuff right. And how do we measure these best countries on Earth? We're going to use math and statistics along with some research from so-called experts. That's how. And in the end, we'll have an understanding of which Earthlings have it best. So pack your bags, because we're going to board a big old ship and we're going to visit the best countries to live in the whole world. Okay, we can turn down that very inspirational music. There we go. So we're going to travel around the world. And the best way to do that's on a boat, everyone. But the bad news is cruise ships aren't really running right now. And most people wouldn't want to be on one anyways. But I was able to pull some strings and got us aboard this thing. Hey, no whining. It's cheap. You'll have a room with your own TV and a place to use the bathroom. Just get on. We're setting sail to our first best place to live in the world, Australia. Australia's doing pretty well right now, except for all the fires that break out every summer. Australia ranks in the top 30 for every single category we measured, and we measured a bunch of them. Everything from their economy to the safety index and how healthy Australians are, mostly. People here live to be about 83 years old, which is 4 years higher than in America, and about 30 years longer than many African nations where the life expectancy is only about 53 years old, which is sad. Australia also ranks second in social support, which means people in Australia trust each other and are generous toward one another. Kind of like when they give their little brother the last bite at kangaroo. Economically speaking, Australia gets a score of 95 for the stability of its economy, a 95 for its current employment situation, and a 96 out of 100 for safety. That's ironic considering that Australia was originally populated as a prison colony. I mean, there were Aboriginal people there already, but back in 1788, the British dumped a bunch of criminals on the island because their own jails were full. Over the next 90 years, more than 160,000 convicts were taken there and released. So now it's probably safe, but back then it probably was not. And the whole place is an island, so there's awesome beaches everywhere. And of course, if you like crazy animals, this is your place to be. Although many of them could kill you or make your life miserable for a little bit. One question I had to know was, are there ever any koala bear attacks? Yes, there are. And just about all of the koala bear attack reports I could find involved women for some reason. That's so weird. Okay, choo-choo! Time to shove off. We have to deliver some packages and we're late. After we drop off some cheap Chinese knockoff crap, we're going to go to our next best country to live in the world, Germany. Germany ranks particularly high in two categories, entrepreneurship and power. For starters, Germany ranks 5th in the world for education, taking into account their public school system, quality of universities, and access to education. Germany ranks 6th in the world for its legal framework, which means they have a strong system of rules that govern and regulate their decision-making and laws. Okay. Germany has a highly skilled, affluent workforce, and a great soccer team, and great beer. But no country's perfect. Like many other European nations, Germany's population is aging quickly. And Germany has reached what many are calling an immigration crisis. Half of all Germans think there's too many immigrants being allowed within its borders. Our next best country to live is China. JK, China. No, it's the Netherlands. That's in Europe. Officially called the Kingdom of the Netherlands, this country of 17 million people is a little bit more populated than the state of New York. It's also referred to as Holland. Holland is actually only part of the Netherlands. These two parts here, specifically. The people here are called Dutch. Anyways, in the Netherlands, things are going pretty swimmingly. Their generosity index is like off the charts, which means they share a lot of things, like toys and books and games with each other. The Netherlands also ranks 9th in overall per capita income, so lots of mommies and daddies make decent salaries here. And the Netherlands ranks really high in a category called freedom to make life choices. That means the Dutch feel comfortable being able to afford things like cars, houses, and other fun stuff. And the Netherlands ranks 3rd in happiness. Why are the Dutch so happy, you might ask? Because they live in little villages with windmills and cute little women with funny hats. Who doesn't like cute little women in funny hats? No, apparently it starts at an early age. Dutch teens begin being happy because their parents give them a lot of emotional support. Plus, they eat breakfast before school, watch less television, and have good diets. I'm not kidding. And I guess that makes you happy when you're a teenager in the Netherlands. And I bet they're also not all staring at their phones all damn day either, because the kids I know. Canada is a great place to live, according to people in Canada, and according to things we measure, too. Canada's democracy index is the 7th highest in the world. That means Canadians feel their elections are fair, there's no corruption, and Canadian civil liberties are respected and reinforced. So serious in Canada. Canadian residents feel very lucky to live in Canada, and Canada's very peaceful too. That means they don't pick fights with other people, because fighting is bad. Unless another country messes with you, then fighting is good. Or if somebody steals your poutine. Right, Canada? Canadians also claim to be the 7th happiest people in the world too. Who wouldn't be happy living in a beautiful place where you can play hockey all year long? It's actually the 2nd biggest country in the world, although most of it's trees and snow. Of course, Canada ain't perfect. Their healthcare system has some flaws. You can wait a long time for that free knee replacement. Taxes are a real pain. Those free knee replacements come at a cost. It's also really cold here. Canadians are super nice, so they'll probably just say, "That's okay, eh?" And they won't be mad that they didn't get a better placement on this list. Bye, Canada. Here's all the hockey sticks and mittens you ordered. Off we go. Just a quick stop so we can drop off some cargo in Iceland. There was a big run on can openers here for some reason. And then off to Switzerland. The country of Switzerland is a good role model for everybody. That's because Switzerland ranks 1st for global competitiveness and 1st for global innovation. That basically means Swiss people run their country really well. Good for them. This country of about 8.5 million people has a lot of pretty mountains. They have some great schools, their economy's doing super well, and they have low unemployment, low corporate taxes, and do well in financial services and in technology. Hence, their GDP is one of the highest in the world. Plus, if you like cheese, they make really good cheeses here. They make like 450 kinds of cheeses. Who doesn't love cheese? I do. But it's really expensive to live here. Everything's closed on Sundays, and they don't have Del Taco there. So take that, Switzerland. Okay, so we're halfway through our list now. We're going to go all the way around the world to get to our next best country to live, Japan, which is great because we have all these math books and computers weighing us down. Now, we weren't friends with Japan for a while there, but we get along pretty well with them now. Japan kicks butt when it comes to healthy. They have the highest life expectancy of any other country, where women can expect to be 88 years old. Now, why is that? It's mostly their diet. And they don't do stupid stuff like this or shoot one another over toilet paper. And people in Japan don't retire and sit on the couch. They stay active. In fact, there are 60,000 people in Japan who are more than 100 years old. And they're probably still working, which is way more than I can say about the people around here. It's a progressive, modern country with a highly skilled, educated labor force where the women all dress like this or like this. No, not everyone. But the bad side of Japan is when all these people finally do die, there aren't many people left to keep up the population. In case you haven't heard, Japan's going through a population crisis. Seems like the Japanese youth just isn't into having kids these days. Too bad for Japan. Well, we're glad we lightened our load a little bit because we have to go all the way around to our next country, Sweden. You know what? We'll just drive right across Russia. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, coming through. Sweden has their stuff figured out. They're just the envy of the world when it comes to humanity and global health. They donate 1% of their GDP to humanitarian aid every year. That's a lot. And they're about public service and sustainability and are a respected leader when it comes to international affairs. Swedes care about the environment too. College is free and healthcare is taxpayer funded. And there's pros and cons to both of those, but they're worth bringing up. It's really safe here and the mommies and daddies all love their kids so much. God, how many more of these do we have until we get to number 1? All right, let's get this shit moving. I'm bored. Number 3 is right next door in Norway. It has one of the lowest crime rates. They have great schools. They take care of their poor. They live long. Okay, next. Finland is just a little bit better than Norway in every single thing we measured. They're environmentally friendly, peaceful. They don't talk to strangers. And I bet they're all tucked into bed before 9 o'clock each night and have really clean rooms too. Okay, which country is the best in the whole world? Let's bring that cargo ship across the Atlantic over to the US of A. That's where. Of course the US is the best country in the world. Come on now. Who steps up when other countries are getting pushed around? We do. Who foots the bill for practically everything that needs paid for around the world? We do. Up until the health crisis of 2020, which country allows the freedoms to do what you want, how you want, and when you want? We do. Other countries just hate us because they ain't us. And we have a lot of room to improve too. Like, a lot. Of course, we have some issues. People shoot each other over parking spaces at Walmart. We have an obesity epidemic and a drug crisis. And we meddle in other countries' affairs a lot. And we can't stand each other if they don't agree with our politics. But you know what? We'll kick anybody's butt if they mess with us. We have the hottest Instagram accounts. We drive the biggest trucks. Our kids are the best at video games, and we can slam dunk on anyone. Sure, we work too hard, and many of us don't work at all. Deep down, like way deep down, we love each other here, and we do anything to help other Americans or people in other countries too. And we have the means to do so. We never conquered any other nation. Except Mexico, kinda. And when we make a mistake, we just throw money at the problem and fix it. We do more than our part around here. And clearly, anybody in America can become president. We live in a country where anybody can do anything. They just have to try. So out of all of the other countries in the world, the United States is the best. So that's it, the best countries in the world. We got to learn a little bit about some other countries, not just ours, and hopefully gained a little appreciation for what we have. Because even though you're not as attractive or as wealthy or as charming as the other American or the other fellow countryman, at least you don't live in China. Yuck. The end. It's right here that you want to make your dough. You've got Germany, Japan. Hey guys, if you learned something new or you just like this video, make sure to like it. And if you really like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos about what it's like to live in different places in America. Peace.